And joining us out of your Dallas market is Andy Tuttle. He is the branch manager of the Tuttle Group with Fairway Independent Mortgage, and his special guest today, Sean Duncan, a CPA and founder and president of SMD Consulting and Accounting. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks, Jen.
So Andy, I know that you work with a lot of business owners, and there really seems to be a gap between the self-employed and perhaps their ability to qualify for a home and their ability really to plan out their financial future. So is that really what you wanted to focus on today in this segment, and why you wanted to bring Sean on?
That is because, like I said, we deal with a lot of business owners, and we find some frustration on their part. One, because many lenders don't know how to work with self-employed borrowers, how to understand their tax returns, and also how to educate them. And we see a lot of people come in, they're like, yes, I'd love to buy this home. This is the home I want. I make enough money, but on paper, they don't make enough money. And so I brought in Sean because he is an expert in this area, and I think he can give some good advice to help business owners better prepare so they can get the home they really want.
Well, Sean, thank you so much for being with us. And we are all ears. Give us a couple points that we and business owners should all be aware of.
Well, one of the biggest mistakes we see is a lot of times people are super aggressive about their tax deductions, which we want to do. That's why you bring a CPA in, is because you want strategy and you want to minimize your taxes. But the downside is if you're planning on buying a home, a business, buying really anything, if your tax return is part of the financial analysis, driving that tax dollar down is going to have a contrary effect to what your goal is. If you want to buy a house and you show you made $10,000 that year, great for your tax savings, but you're now going to end up losing the chance on buying that house because you show that you're broke. So that's the biggest one we usually see.
So how far in advance then should business owners be thinking about their long-term goals and be sitting down and talking with their CPA?
At least a year in advance, preferably 2 to 3 years, because really you're not just talking about buying a house, you're talking about the future of the business. So where do you want to go? What's your exit strategy? What are you planning on becoming at some later date? So if you're planning ahead for the long run, you do have the conversation about how does the house fit into this? I'm getting ready to buy some cars. I want to put my kids in college. I think I want to buy more investment property. So it starts with what are your immediate goals, but we really should be looking further out, not just 1 and 2 years out.
What about investments for business owners? What should they be looking at? How can they maximize the return on their investments?
In the world of real estate in particular, obviously there's lots of different types of investments. In the world of real estate, we're back to the long run. We got to look at what you're planning on doing. Most folks will go buy themselves one investment property. You're going to buy a rental home or a condo. At some point, you're going to sell that property, and there's a capital gain or a tax on that. How can we avoid or minimize that capital gain? A lot of folks don't realize there's tools out there like a 1031 exchange to roll that into the next property and pay no tax. And then we keep doing that. We've had people buy houses throughout the course of their lives, 20 and 30 years later, paying no tax until that final transaction, and then we work on strategy for that one as well.
So why aren't CPAs offering this kind of information? Why are we just hearing about this now?
CPAs, we're all wired a little bit differently, but it really is one of the big differences what our firm does versus a lot of other firms. April 15th just got passed, and they're working their rear ends off, working long hours, trying to get the work filed and compliant. Our job, we actually don't do that. We focus on the strategy. We focus on what your long-run plan is. What's your business plan? Where are you trying to go with the business? Where are you trying to go with your personal life? So we've changed our entire firm to where we focus just on the advice so the clients can get that part and not have to fire their CPA that's doing the preparation part.
There you go. I love that you say you're really a teaching firm in a sense.
Honestly, I've had it said many times. We're more teachers than we are advisors or consultants. It's not we're coming in and consulting and solving problems. We're teaching you how to be a better business owner and how to make better decisions so that you're empowered going forward. It's not just about a transaction. It's about what you're trying to do for a lifestyle.
And Andy, how much easier does it make you when you are working with your clients, when they've been working with a CPA such as Sean, and they really have their goals and their dreams laid out in front of them?
It's a game changer not only for the client, but for the whole experience, because the frustrations that come with having to tell your spouse that although you've made enough, you didn't do something right and now you can't buy the home is not a situation we want to put anyone in. So when they get the advice up front and they're prepared, everything goes better for them with the home purchase. It's so much easier for them to get approved, and it makes the experience and their investment really, really pay off for them.
Well, gentlemen, such great information today. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks. Appreciate you having us.